July 28th, including Vancouver, Washington, and the rest of Clark County. Once again, the biggest news in Portland real estate is that mortgage rates have reached their lowest level since February and are still falling. Let's look at the most recent Portland Metro statistics and trends, as well as the current state of mortgage rates. Now for the report. We are seeing pressure on sales prices for the third week in a row, and it's beginning to look like a trend, a little worrisome. When comparing the first 3 weeks of July 2024 to July 2023, we are currently about 1.2% above last year's prices, which is down from June when sales prices increased by about 2.7% year over year. Lower interest rates, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, could help with the affordability issues that buyers are experiencing and possibly prop up values. That's something we'll watch. If you've been following these updates, you will know that the number of homes on the market has been outpacing what we saw last year at this time, but that appears to have slowed this week to almost match last year's figures. There is still a tremendous rate lock where sellers don't want to give up their 2.75% mortgages and won't sell. Overall, buyers have about 32% more homes to choose from than last year at this time, which is consistent with the week before. So, in terms of supply, we're still treading water. Demand has remained fairly consistent since the July 4th holiday, but we are now outpacing the number of purchase agreements reached by buyers and sellers compared to last year at this time. If you recall the last few weeks, we were behind what we saw last year at this time. So our market may be heading off a new trend of weaker demand, that trend that we've been seeing grow since the 4th of July. Our other major measure of buyer activity, lockbox opens, was only slightly lower than the previous year. So it looks like buyers are starting to get out there again, touring homes with their agents. A few weeks ago, we saw an increase in the number of homes in foreclosure, but this did not last long. The number of bank-owned homes and pre-foreclosure notices returned to the fairly modest numbers that we've been seeing leading up to the bump that we saw. There are no significant changes there, at least not yet. So, on to the big news. The big story once again is in mortgage rates. Late last week, the Fed board met and decided to keep interest rates unchanged. There have been no changes there. However, we received a jobs report that indicated that the economy may be cooling, which would help to reduce inflation, and Chairman Powell made remarks at this week's meeting that gave the market some confidence that a rate cut is on the way, possibly as soon as the Fed's next meeting in September. They want to get ahead of the possibility of going actually into a recession. As a result, on Thursday morning, I found 30-year fixed mortgages advertised at 6.125%, which is down more than a quarter of a point from where we saw last week. Yesterday, I actually saw one at 5.5%. Looking forward, we will be watching the market's reaction to the jobs report and Chairman Powell's remarks. There tends to be a bit of a knee-jerk reaction when new information or new reports hit the airwaves, and it's usually followed by some moderation. Yesterday's 5.5 was back up closer to 6 today. So, I might expect that the lows that we've been seeing, we might see rates kind of moderate back up. I'm expecting the final for this week to be somewhere right around 6 as best case scenario. If the mortgage rates remain at their current levels or perhaps slightly higher, it could inject some energy into our market in the form of increased buyer activity, resulting in a reduction in the overall supply of homes for purchase. So, if you have any questions or thoughts, and especially if you'd like to sell a home, we need the inventory. Feel free to call me at 503-683-1885 or send an email to lauren@pdxhomesforsale.com. Subscribe to our newsletter and or YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss any updates, and feel free to share the video with anyone who may be concerned about the real estate market in this area. Have a great week, and I will see you right here next week.